Hey everybody, here are my top 5 and 3 bonus, so top 8 ways to save for a down payment. And trust me, you will not regret it. Keep listening. So, number 1, I'm going to be looking down at my notes because I have a bad memory, so I will be looking at them. Don't judge me. But number 1, spend less. That is probably the easiest way I can tell you to save for your down payment for your new home. Spend less. The average Canadian nowadays, probably 2020 is a little different, but the average Canadian 2019 spent $1,500. Is that a booger? Home. Spend less. The average Canadian spends $1,500 a month on unnecessary expenses, including gym, phone, entertainment, takeout, those Uber Eats, holy moly, and subscriptions, Netflix, Disney, Blanklist, Audible. You have a million, LinkedIn Professional. You have a million subscriptions that you use maybe one, aka Netflix. Try and cut down maybe. And I mean, because imagine $1,500 a month. There's a raccoon over there. Actually, pretty cool. So the average Canadian spends $1,500 a month. That equates to $18,000 a year. Imagine taking those $18,000 and putting it in your RSPs, which I'll tell you about it later. But come on. Number 2, I know with COVID it's a little bit more tricky, but I like to use cash when I'm doing my purchases. It's a little bit easier to track. You know, I have the tangible cash in my hands, and I can see, hey, you know what? I put, $200 in my wallet. Now I have nothing, so I can't buy nothing. But yeah, I mean, with COVID, it's a little bit more difficult. So I know with the debit cards, you can just tap, 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 and people can get tap happy. I've been doing that lately. But yeah, I mean, people say that the app tells you, I think for me, my TD app tells me every morning that, hey, you spent $10,000 on garbage. But I just swipe up and I forget about it. So try and track down your expenses. That is probably another great way to help save. Number 3, put money in your RRSPs. See what I did there? But yeah, I mean, try and make it automatic. Like RRSPs are a great way to save. And also, as an accountant, I can tell you that putting money in your RRSPs will also lower your taxes at the end of the year because it offsets it and everything. So, and you can use up to $35,000. You can take it out tax-free when you are purchasing your first home. So that is a great bonus. That's the whole point. So yeah, put money in your RSPs. Try and do it now, sooner rather than later. Although you do have a deadline every year to do it. So if you don't want to do it automatically, you want to do a large sum at the end of the year, you can do it. Call me if you need some help on your taxes. But that's just kind of a side thing, which is part of my bonuses. But I'll tell you. Number 4, don't buy a new car. Don't buy a new car. My main thing for people that I always say, do not buy depreciable assets or don't finance them, because you're just spending a whole bunch of money when as soon as you drive out the lot, you lose a whole bunch of money on depreciation, and it's not worth it. If you want a new car, lease it, and that still affects your borrowing because you're paying fixed amounts every month. But I mean, try not to buy a new car, especially while you're trying to save for a house. If I know we live in Canada, and a lot of us live in suburbs, so you need a car to get around. Try and buy a car that is a little bit older, of course, used, and try and buy it outright so you don't have those, payments, going in every month. So then you only have to worry about, maintaining the car and your insurance and stuff. But just $500 extra on your fixed payments per month will kind of affect your qualification for a mortgage up to $100,000. For that extra $500 that you were spending a month, yeah, you qualify for about $100,000 less. So number 5, maintain a good credit score. Okay, maintain a good credit score. The easiest way to do this is pay all your things on time, your phone bill, your credit cards, and everything. If possible, try and keep a zero balance on your credit card every month. Use it, of course, if you want to get those arrow points and everything, but try and maintain a very, very low balance or a zero balance, which is optimal. But yeah, because if you have, say for example, a $20,000 credit limit, and you're and you're consistently at 18,000, 19,000, you're borderline, going over. Going over is the worst. Do not do that. I learned that when I was in high school. Worst thing you can do. But yeah, don't go over your limit. Stay at zero. Stay, hover around. But try not to go over, basically. Now for my bonus. Top 3 things that you can do to save. The bonuses, I would say, so again, this kind of relates to the first list, I guess you can say, is get rid of your car. Get rid of your car. If you're paying $1 billion a month on that Lexus IS 500, which isn't even out yet, but if you're paying that much money, sell it. Buy a 2015 Lexus IS 350. And it's just as beautiful. You can find many in very great condition for much less price. And I'm just saying Lexus, but like any car that is practical and reliable. If you need a vehicle, especially in the suburbs, you probably do need a vehicle to get around. And yeah, but try not to be paying, these huge finance amounts and lease amounts for a car that honestly nobody cares that you're driving. Number 2, which again relates to what I kind of said about the taxes before, because accounting is my side hustle. So accounting and bookkeeping. So I will implore you to get a side hustle. If you have a car that you are now not paying monthly, you can actually use it to be an Uber, be a Lyft driver, and if you don't want to do it like every day kind of thing, it's a good side hustle. Like if you see the stats, it's not bad for some extra money. Like after paying all your expenses and everything, you're still left out with a decent amount for a side hustle. And you can do it on your own time. So like after your main 9 to 5, you can do it on the weekends if you want, especially nowadays that, since the lockdowns are lifting and everything, people are going to want to be on the weekends going to patios for a couple of broskies. They're not supposed to be driving, so they can call you and be like, hey, I need an Uber driver. And you can do that, or you can do bookkeeping like I do, or you can create your own company, do some crafts here and there. You can refurnish old furniture. There's a lot of things. You just got to be a little bit creative. Last but not least, my last bonus is don't go on holidays. Don't take that $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 trip around the world on a cruise that you only see the country for like 2 seconds. Don't take these trips, especially when you're trying to save for a house. That $8,000 trip can go directly into your RSPs to save for your down payment, or just put into your savings, or putting into an investment account, into bonds. Put it somewhere that's going to make you money, not going to take money away from you. I know experiences and this and that, and we can have experiences, but try and do them for like $200 and go to Woodbine Beach, go to, Lake Innisfil Beach, go somewhere close, not Wasaga, I don't like Wasaga, but go places, you know what I mean? That are affordable. That's what I mean. Don't spend $8,000 on vacation when you can spend a tiny 1% of the amount, and you can actually have fun. And at the end of the day, you can go home and sleep like a baby. So that's my last. Those were my top 5 with 3 bonus. So my top 8 ways to save for a down payment. And once you save for your down payment, you can give me a call because I am your neighborhood realtor, because I'm your neighbor. We're a community. So let's sell it together.